All right, so as the crisis in Ukraine keeps unraveling, there's things that we've been noticing in the news, such as the F-35 planes that are being positioned so that they have optimal Air Force control and airspace control as part of the NATO air policing mission that they're doing. This F-35 is pretty badass. Look at how it's all like matte black. There's no markers or reflectors on it. It can drop a bomb. That thing can hold some serious firepower. That's a cool picture right there of it refueling in the air. And they're just trying to get good German space Air Force dispatches of these planes and get them in position in case they have to go and take action. Now, there's another story. This one is of a guy. This guy's a legend. His name is the Ghost of Kiev. This guy's a urban legend that's keeping Ukrainian hopes alive. He took out 5 Russian airplanes in a day, and it's pretty badass. I think that he's doing some cool things as a rogue pilot. That's a MiG plane that he's flying around, a MiG-29 from the Ukrainian Air Force Base. Lots of Air Force fighting, lots of people getting into position, and things that are about to unravel in the coming days. Now, they're not taken to using nuclear force right now, and that's for good measure, because if there's a nuclear bomb that's detonated in one country's going to retaliate, and it's just going to be an all-out war that's going to disintegrate the earth. But this Russian Kiev guy is pretty interesting. I just heard about him today from KK, and supposedly he's notched up 10 military planes. So if that's true, this guy's a terror in the enemy's eyes and the pride of Ukraine. That's a pretty bad kill count that guy has.
Well, there you are.
Now, it's a very slim chance that a pilot can become an ace like that in a 24-hour window, but with the odds stacked up, it'll be interesting to see if this guy comes out as a war hero in this bombardment. Man, I've never flew a $1 million airplane, but I could just imagine the responsibility of having to fly something like that in the air and having the taxpayers' money all at the risk of being shot down or being destroyed. So, airplanes is the discussion today, and I think that's the smart way of taking the strategy to this war, is just to go from above the sky, because on the ground there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. There's a lot of civilians on the ground. There's tanks on the ground. There's a lot. It's not the time for trench warfare, like digging holes in the ground and sticking out of the ground with rifles and getting ready to go to war like that. I don't think that that's really the time to do it right now, because I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on a strategy out there, KK, of how to control Russian land and how to attack it? If you were the colonel out there and making the calls, what do you think would be the best? Do you think that they're doing the right thing by sending these airplanes out there right now?
I think they're doing the right thing, especially using aircraft. You know, whoever controls the air usually has control over the land, especially with it being landlocked.
Okay, keep going.
Oh, especially with it being landlocked country, not really any promising naval exercises are going to work there. So definitely aircraft is the smartest way to go. That's what I would go. They have this big ass line of military vehicles going down a big ass highway, you know. You can get an A-10 Warthog up in there and just fucking start lining them up. They're all in line for everybody, you know. I feel like aircraft is the way to go. We're trying to fight a land on ground battle with Russia is going to be hard, mainly due to just how much more of a population that they have, how many more soldiers they have, and they're all ready to do a land operation. They're not expecting Ukraine to come back with any kind of air, but I feel like if Ukraine sticks to air superiority and just controls the air around Ukraine, they're not going to have very many problems for from Russia, especially on any kind of invasions, because like they can't get any of their people in the country if you can control the air and bomb them as soon as they get into the country. So
that's a good point.
yep. And you know, that whole line of Russian, like a whole almost like a couple miles long of just Russian tanks and ICVs. You know, you get A-10 or you get any kind of aircraft in there and just start dropping it on them. Boom. That gets rid of them coming in. Boom. That also stops them from coming in again because now they got to get through all that rubble. Yeah, it's going to be pretty nasty, but I feel like if Ukraine can hold on to air superiority, then they have this war for sure.
It says here that a total of 30,000 handguns, 7,000 assault rifles, 3,000 machine guns, and several dozen sniper rifles, as well as 1 million rounds of ammunition are being sent from the Czech Republic. Fuel, body armor, helmets, ammo, and other military equipment are being supplied by Romania. There are a lot of firepower and military aid that's being packaged out here to Ukraine. And with all this war building up, it'll be interesting as one of the most historic moments in world wars, and maybe possibly be labeled as World War III if things get really bad. But we'll stay tuned into the news and talk about more worldly affairs in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I think that sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I think it did.